Hi, this is Ruth Pordes, and this is the video about my web-based learning environment project for the Technology in K through 12 class at College of DuPage. I'm going to be showing modules for 2 weeks of a course topic called Light and Optics. There are several sections to the video. The first one is this introduction. Then I'm going to walk people through the teacher's view of the WLE that I used, then the student's view, and then talk about the technologies used, information, thoughts, and issues that I had. As I said, the course title is Light and Optics. There are 2 initial modules, and I used much from the COD class activities. The teacher's view. Here I'm showing you the teacher's view of the course on light and optics that I was developing. Of course, it looks familiar because I am using the free version of Blackboard, which is called Course Sites. You can see here my home page for this module, and you can see actually that there are no to-dos, because for me as the teacher, there is nothing that actually has to happen by a particular date. You can actually see then the course content that I've developed. And there are 2 modules. One is and I show the introduction to each of the weeks on this page, and then I also have a link to the objectives and the lesson plan for each of the weeks of the module. I will lead you through what's in the control panel. There are course tools where you can look at the blogs and the discussion group that I have developed. Here is the group of everyone in the Light and Optics course. I can have various groups consisting of subsets of the users or students on the class to which to send email and to involve. There's a summary of the course calendar where you can see that there are tasks and assignments during May and the beginning of June. I actually had the class finish towards the beginning of June. There's something called Class Sites Live, which is an interactive collaboration tool which I hope to use and have tested, and I will show you a bit more about later. Here are the users and groups that I mentioned. I have added 3 students, and I will be talking about those students later and showing around the site from that. There's customization, where you can talk about the properties of the actual class, what the description of the overall class is, what the subject area is, and what the availability is. So now we'll go back from the control panel to the actual course content and what is seen and can be edited by the teacher themselves. As I said, there are 2 weeks. We'll start with the objectives and the lesson plans that can be edited by the teacher and can actually then be aspects of it configured to be shared with the students or not. So the objectives of week 1 are to identify things that the students know about light, and I will show you the test that is embedded in the course content, to have this field trip around the school and then discuss and write about 3 things that they see in that environment, to read about a historical optical astronomer, and to add information to the WBLE portfolio based on a video that I developed earlier in the class. If we go back to the course content and go back to the second week, you'll see that I have similar information developed, the introduction to the class, the objectives, which are to use the number-based 10 flipped classroom video that I developed earlier, to learn about the eye and its components and identify parts of the eye and their function, and identify parts of an optical ground-based telescope and some of the challenges in building telescopes, whether it be ground-based or space-based. Again, this is content that I developed as part of my course design in this COD class that we're doing. So now I've covered the objectives and lesson plans. I can talk about the specific content that the teacher is able to develop, and there are various types of content. There's information, where the contents of the information is displayed on the course content page. Here I repeat the objectives so that the student knows what the goals are. I have a pre-existing knowledge test. I have a video for them to watch and learn about light and electromagnetic radiation. The actual video that I developed and is uploaded to YouTube, embedded into the course itself. Some more information and assignments. And then the communications activity, which is to post things to the bulletin board. I have an assessment and a rubric, which I will show you later. So to go back to the beginning, talk about the pre-knowledge test. It was pretty simple to be able to develop the test, to add in the questions that I had using my Google form, and I can see that I can fill in the answers and then save them. We're all pretty familiar with this. And then the teacher is able to look at the answers later. If we go back to the actual course content, I have it so that the YouTube opens into another window, and so one still has one's original window available. The YouTube video will play embedded in the actual
Hello, everyone.
Course
Today
content
I'm going
page.
to give a very...
And here I have a module which can consist of several components, and I actually just have an information component giving the list of information to read about for the optical astronomers and telescopes, and then information about posting what one has learned to the WBLE itself. Field trip, again, is just information. And then there's a communication activity, which is posting to the bulletin board, which is special, and I can create a thread then, as we do in our class at COD, talking about what we've seen about light. And I'll show you that in the student view as well. Then there's an assignment with an associated assessment. When one submits the URL of the web addresses of the information posted in the WBLE blog. And one can actually have the configuration of the assignment and talk about the assessment. Let me show you the assessment from the control panel. I had it somewhere. Here's the rubrics of the 2 sessions, and I can actually edit them. Open and edit. And I've used the templates that we used during our class. So I have one for each of the modules, one of each of the weeks. And that's the set of information for the first week of the class. And I have similar things for the second week. The discussion board entries, and we'll develop some rubrics. There are many, many options, as you know, in Blackboard Learn, which are echoed in course sites. One of the things I was interested in is doing some accessibility work. And so here we are. We'll go to the second web content, the second week's content, and then I will enable the text-to-voice app for the Mac.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on System Preferences, Accessibility, System Preferences, Menu 6 item, Chrome, Blackboard Learn, Window, Collapsed, Heading Level 4, Ling, Packages and Utilities. You are currently on a heading level 4. Ling, Create item, Expanded, Heading, Star Name, Required, Edit Text List 3 items. You are currently on a text field. To enter text in this field, type D space A, select A, uns E, X M E. You are currently on week 2 expanded, success, add an example created, visited, link, homepage, expanded, heading level 4, link, content collection. You are currently on a frame, week 2 content, expanded, heading level 4, link, content collection. You are currently, link, test, list 6 items level 2. You are currently in a group. To exit this group, press Ctrl, Option, Shift, up arrow. Out of week 2 content, frame.
As you can see, this is not particularly easy, and it's not particularly obvious, and clearly I need to do more work here.
VoiceOver off.
I was also interested in collaboration tools, which is Course Sites Live, and I have downloaded the application there, and we can start it and I can show it. And this is somewhere where all the students can meet in a collaborative environment to talk to the teacher and to talk to each other, to share videos, to share screens in the same way as we're doing it now. And this actually looks like a quite nice and easy tool, and I'm very pleased that it's available as part of the free Course Sites environment. I also looked at the mobile, Blackboard Mobile, which should be available for Course Sites, but at the moment I've not been able to use that. Thank you. The Student's View. Here is the home page of a Student's View, and I would note that I'm using a different browser than I used for the Teacher's View, so I have tested both Chrome and Safari for this actual course. Here you can see on the home page that there are some deliverables with due dates that have been created as part of the course. If I actually select a different date to see what's due on that date, then I can move things up into a higher part of the to-do list. If we go to the Access the Course content for the student, we'll see that there are just the 2 week 1 and week 2 content information. And in each folder is the objective of the lesson and the particular information and activities that I showed you as part of the teacher view. One can actually take the test, although it's been taken before. And look at the answers to one's results. Didn't do very well that time. I can post something to the group discussion board. And share that with my other students and the actual teacher. I can get some help and I can, I hope, actually access the live set of information, although I've not actually discovered how to do that yet. But we will work on it during the next day. Thank you for your attention. As I said, I found the technology of course sites to be well described, good videos to tell me what to do, but I found it very text-based. There wasn't a lot of opportunity to somehow connect the videos, the audio, the images to each other or to a systematic view of the information and the teaching modules that I was attempting to do. So I thought actually I would cover what could be improved if I had more time on this project, or if I had spent more time on this project. Clearly I would have added content, information, activities and assignments, but basically my regret is not better integrating the assessment and rubric aspects, as well as the course curricula, the standards of the Common Core, with the content and assignments. A picky technical thing is that the course ID is somehow the name of our COD class. I did not notice this till I had quite a bit of content added, and I was unable to find a way to change it or to remove it from the configured places. So it remains as a sore point in some places. I would like to have got the mobile app access to work. It would be, we wait for feedback from Blackboard themselves on how to do this, and to work more on live content and interaction and accessibility. Thank you for listening.